Hey, what's going on YouTube? MarineX back at it again. We've done some gift guide categories in different areas, $50 and below, $200 and below. The sweet spot, I believe, is $100 and below. That video's to come, but this one is $500 and below. And ladies, I'm listening to you. I know you like to do your shopping sooner than later. This is going to be items that I have used. I like. They're tested. They are unbeaten. The video sponsor of today's video is Ver. More on them later. But this is the thing. I'm a big fan of these products, and I like the way that these are going. Some of these are luxury. That's why it's the mark between $200 and $500. I mean, it's okay. I'm gonna assume the guy in your life you really love if you're getting him this stuff. The first one I want to talk about is going to be the Leatherman Arc. If you have a guy, okay, and he is a multi-tool guy, maybe he carries a multi-tool for work. Maybe he carries a multi-tool all the time. He may not have the Leatherman Arc Obsidian. Now, the Obsidian is kind of not really available, so I'm going to suggest that you get the regular Leatherman Arc. It's going to cost you $229, but it's going to have the one-handed feature that he may not use right now with his multi-tools. Very few of them have that ability. There's a few Gerbers that can do stuff like that, and I think Next Torch is doing some stuff like that. But it has 20-in-1 tools, kind of basically everything that you need if you want to be a weekend warrior, fixing everything from an air fryer, working on your HVAC system at the house, doing those handyman tasks around the house that you've been begging him to do for a while. This can help you get that done. $229 is not the most inexpensive thing in the world, but the tool set that's on here is pretty concrete, and I think that you can get the job done with a lot of different stuff. If you pull up and you buy this and he finds out that you pick this thing up, it's a very interesting love type of relationship that comes on there, mainly because you're getting that fantastic Magna Cut blade, which is highly sought after from folks when it comes to being able to carry a multi-tool of this caliber. Now, let's just say, for instance, you don't want to carry that, or you know he may not like that. Then you can also look at the Leatherman Free P4. This is discontinued by Leatherman, but there are some authorized distributors. Leatherman themselves is selling this on Amazon still. I'll link any of this stuff up down below. Some of those are affiliate links, some of them are not. But this will let you know whether or not you can get your hands on this. This also has the one-handed opening feature, has a great tool set. The only big thing it's missing, Magna Cut blade, and missing the bit driver. But I'm telling you, you can also get tons of projects done with this tool. It fits good in the hand, feels good in the hand. And I kind of actually like the way the Leatherman Free P4 looks more than the Leatherman Arc, but don't tell anybody that. Now, speaking of stuff that has a long history of makers, great warranties, and things that your partner would be impressed by, let's look at getting them a Benchmade Bugout, but not the regular smegular Benchmade Bugout that Taylor Martin tore up without letting Benchmade know. We're talking about one of the upgrade versions with an M390 blade steel. It has a battle washed blade. Look at that. The blade just looks like it's been through a little bit of heartache, like it's been through some pain, like it's been through some stuff, okay? Then it does have aluminum scales with a brass finish. It has Tiffany blue thumb studs. The same thing with the standoffs. Like it's a very good looking knife. It's also very easy to flick. It's kind of easy to fidget with. And I own a lot of different Benchmade Bugouts. This one, all the ones that are aluminum seem to have the best action. I don't know if it's just the way that the axis lock plays when it's inside of aluminum versus the Grivery or carbon fiber or anything like that, but I really like the way this looks and feels. It's a pricey boy, okay? That's why I'm saying this is between the $200 and the $500 mark. This normally retails over $300. Right now, I think it's $288. Get something like this if you know he already has a bug out. He's just a big old Oregon Benchmade fan. He likes anything that they're pumping out. Then he's going to absolutely like this. Speaking of liking this, today's video sponsor, Ver, and the crazy thing is that they're sponsoring this gift guide series for the most part. And the only reason I'm letting them do it is because I love this micro brand. They're doing some big things. And the biggest thing that I think that they've done to date is just really give you the appreciation for watches from the 60s and 70s and bring them to today. This is the Ver R1 chronograph. This is inspired, design, in the spirit and durability of the racing watches of the 70s. And they brought that to an all-purpose Mecha Quartz timepiece. You can use this as a stopwatch. That is what I primarily use this for. Going on walks, I'm working out, I'm doing whatever. I want to be able to quickly time and use this to keep time as I'm going. It's fantastic. 38 millimeters on this watch. It has a cream dial, 100 meters of water resistance. It is made of 316 stainless steel. It has a single dome sapphire with AR coating, and it does have the 20 millimeter lugs, just like the rest of the Vaer watches. That's one thing I like about them. You can quickly and easily swap out the watch straps when you get these bad boys, and it makes life that much easier. This quartz movement on this watch is done so well that it almost feels like an automatic movement, which is what I like about it so much. It's the Seiko VK663 Mecha Quartz movement. And when I push this little button, you're going to see the stopwatch go. And then just like that, you see the stopwatch goes. That keeps minutes. This keeps the minutes as you go on. It goes all the way up to an hour. Very, very easy to use. You push that, it resets it. So I'm a big fan of that overall. When you order this watch, you actually get 2 watch bands. This is assembled in America, like a lot of Vaer watches are, and you get the nice contrasting khaki if you want to put that on there. I like the way it looks with this tropical looking band on here, but either one of those two is fantastic. You can even upgrade with a custom fitted steel bracelet, or you can also grab yourself a leather bracelet or something like that, or a leather band if you wanted to as well. Check out the links in the description down below. Use the code to get 10% off this watch or any other watch. I think you would be a big fan of this watch, and mainly because if the loved one in your life doesn't already have something like this, if he's not already rocking this, it's a low likelihood that he has an R1 chronograph. And this is your opportunity to give him something that's a little bit different to the watch collection. Still sticking in the world of knives, we got to talk about the CRKT Pup slip joint. Now, if you're in a municipality, if you're in an area where you're not allowed to carry a locking knife, then I got something for you. This is a drop point style of knife with a super dense twist Damasteel. It has an acid washed blade on there, which looks fantastic. Titanium scales with carbon fiber inlays. Very good pocket clip with a little bit of detailing on that as well. It is a slip joint non-locking knife, meaning if you're in an area, as mentioned, that you can't have a locking knife, you're tired of carrying a Victorinox or some other name brand that doesn't have anything, a slip joint that you're not the biggest fan of. This is a nice little knife to be able to have and to be able to use at the ready. Break down boxes, cut your zip ties, all that type of stuff. And I like the fact that it has this very discreet and recessed flipper tab, which allows for you to subtly flip it open without looking like a super obnoxious, normal looking flipper. It's a Richard Rogers design. He has been doing some big things over there at CRKT. This is made in Italy. Okay, I like to root for the home team, but I did have my honeymoon in Italy, so I love me some Italy as well. So I like the fact that the Italians got their grapes in their hands around this one as well. Now we're rounding out the world of the traditional EDC when it comes to stuff that kind of goes in your pocket or goes onto your wrist. We got to talk about Montana Knife Company. When I say Montana Knife Company, I'm talking about any of their knives that comes from their tactical collection, their hunt collection, or their EDC collection. I know they have a cutlery collection as well. I don't have those. I can just speak for the ones that I have. And we're going to talk about, you can get the War Goat, you can get the Battle Goat, any of these, anything that's in stock that you're able to find for your husband. Check the links in the description when it comes to Montana Knife Company. He's going to like it. Okay. Magna cut blade steel, well done G10 scales or paracord scales or wood scales or whatever you decide to get your hands on. You can get this one, which is more like an EDC type of knife, which is the Speed Goat. And so you may have different versions of things that you think that he may like. And I'm telling you, these are the type of knives that have very well made sheaths. They are made in Montana, and the owner is a very good guy, very down to earth. You can also look at getting yourself the Blackfoot 2.0, which is the massive scale, which is this is kind of more in line of their hunt collection. But I like how fat these G10 scales are. Gives you a lot of grip, especially if you're trying to take the skin off of a warm kill. Fits really good into the hand. I'm telling you, if you get him something from Montana Knife Company, and you tell them that, hey, I was just doing my research and I thought you might like this. These are the equivalent to a panty dropper for a man. Okay, so he's going to be a big fan of those. Now I got to tell you, the item of all this stuff, of all these things that I use by far the most are these Rayband Meta glasses. Now here's the thing. The Rayband Meta glasses they're interesting. Okay, they range between $280, $400, depends on how you get them customized. They have upgraded cameras. They can record videos up to 3 minutes. They take very good pictures, especially in sunlight, multiple styles to choose from. You can upload pictures and photos directly to your Instagram or your Facebook. They have also onboard storage. I think they have like 32 gigs of storage or something. Don't quote me on that, but like 32 gigs of storage. But the thing is, they have speakers that puts the audio directly into your ears. And if you have a guy that does not like Bluetooth speakers and stuff in his ears, he's going to probably like the fact that these have very discreet speakers, which if I can get this to focus on it, speakers kind of right in here that are just pumping the audio directly into your ears. So you don't have to worry about anything playing very loudly in your ears or not being able to main focus. It helps you maintain the area around you. I think they look really good. I like the fact that you can take some photos. It also has the Meta technology. So you can ask it, hey, Meta, what am I looking at? It'll take a photo of it. It'll tell you the weather, it'll tell you the day, all that type of stuff. The charging case looks like a regular charging case for a pair of Ray-Ban glasses. The only difference is it does have a light indicator, lets you know it's charging. When that light indicator changes like to a yellow or whatever, lets you know you need to charge the case. But it feels very, very easy to use. It just have a sync button on the back. So if you want to sync it to another device, here's the thing. I like these a lot. I've done a 1-year review. I've done an initial review. There's very few complaints I have about it. One of them would be sometimes it takes a long time to connect to your phone. By long time, I'm talking like 20, 25, 30 seconds. That's a long time for Bluetooth. But other than that, I don't really have a lot of complaints. This next item is something that if he is into flashlights and you're trying to figure out what does he not have, he seems to have a little bit of everything. I guarantee he probably does not have the Ace Beam Terminator M1. This is a high CRI floodlight. It also has an incredible zoom LEP light, and that lets you see stuff over a mile away with this flashlight. This thing is fantastic. It's massive, and I love the construction of it. It's made of aluminum. It does have a spotlight, which can go over 1,600 meters or a mile, as I mentioned before. It has a battery indicator on the side, which lets you know how much it needs before it charges. You can easily switch over to the LEP light. So going here, that's the LEP light is zoomable. So if I want to make it bigger, I can do that. The LEP is extremely bright, and in the correct conditions, you can actually use this zoomable light to start a fire. That's how incredibly focused you can make the LEP. But if you want to, you can also go over to the floodlight. You can use both at the same time. And this thing goes 3,500 lumens for the flood, 700 lumens for the LEP. And the thing is that even though the LEP is a zoomable light, it still is so focused. I love using this on rucks. If I have this around my wrist, right? So I usually would put this around my wrist while I'm on a ruck or whatever. Then I can easily just switch this up, shine in front of me to see underneath an underpass or whatever. It does have replaceable 21700 batteries. So if you want, you take this out, you can bring extra batteries with you and you can charge it as you go. It's also a USB Type-C battery, so you can charge it at night. This is a fantastic heavy duty light you can keep in the armrest of your vehicle, put in your hiking bag, put in your self-defense kit, whatever. This is a interesting flashlight. It's normally about $280. Check the links in the description for the best discount code, because I might have a discount code for you as well on that. Very good case, which is lockable if you have like a TSA style lock, a nice hard case. And you can kind of put this in your kit and not worry about damaging the flashlight. Or you can just take this actual case and reuse it for something else, which is pretty dope. All right, let's talk a few bags. Let's talk a couple of bags, because I have 2 bags I want to talk about over the $200, under the $500 range that are my favorite. We're going to talk about first my favorite urban style bag. This is the Able Carry Daily Plus. They also have the Daily, I think it's called the Daily, which has less organization. This is a 21 liter bag. It's made of X-Pack, It does weigh a little bit over a kilo, and it can fit most 16-inch laptops. My buddy has a 16-inch MacBook Pro. I just wanted to test it out, see if it can fit in here, because I only have a 14-inch. Fit in here just fine. It does have 420D nylon for the inside, and also very, very nice padding on the back. Check that out there. So it just feels really good for keeping the moisture off of your back. They also have a 2-week try it period. So if you purchase this, they give you 2 weeks to try it out. You hate it, return it back to them. No questions asked. Multiple clip points. I think this is why my favorite. And trust me, I got stuff by a lot of different companies when it comes to the urban style of bag. Okay. Stuff from Alpaca. We got stuff from Brown Buffalo. We got stuff from, I'm telling you, these folks make some stuff that is just super unique. One of them is they do have this little area right here, which is technically designed for a U style lock. But you can take this, you can run it through the bag itself, and then you can take this entire thing and you can lock this to your desk, to a coffee table, that's a concrete coffee table at a coffee shop. So now your bag won't grow legs if you have to go to the restroom. You ever been to like a public place and you're inside and you're just like, oh, I got to go to the restroom. Do I pack up my entire computer? Do I pack up everything just to go to the restroom for 30 seconds? And for that, the answer would be you don't have to. Because what you can also do is you can take at the very top, you can take the zippers and you can put a TSA lock through both of these zippers, through the actual zipper pulls themselves, and lock the main compartment. So if you lock the main compartment, you lock this thing to a table, and you need to go freaking take the Browns to the Super Bowl, this kind of gives you a little bit of peace of mind for that. I thought that was very interesting. It does have this very quick access area here on the side, which is if you swing the bag to one side, anything that you have is stored in here, you can access while the bag is just hanging off one shoulder. I like that. It has a secret water bottle pocket, which a lot of folks don't even know exists. So that way you can keep your water bottle hidden it's still accessible on the outside of the bag, but it's not a traditional looking water bottle holder. I think that's pretty dope. And if you don't want to use it as a water bottle pocket, that you don't have to. Plenty of clip points, as I mentioned. I mean, you can put hero clips all over this bag with no issues whatsoever. And one of the things about it is it does have just all sorts of quick access areas. I know this is a pricey boy, but this bag was so well designed, so well thought out. Like, it's easy to be my urban bag. Now we got to talk about my favorite kind of like tactical urban bag. Okay, so I call it tactical bag, which might be good for your bug outs. It may be good for rucking. You also might be able to take this to a coffee shop. This is the Vertex Ready Pack 3.0. This one's the multicam version. This is a 20-liter bag, so a little bit smaller than the bag we just took a look at. 500D Cordura. So it does have a ready access pull tab at the very back, which is designed for you to quickly access your CCW. So this is designed to off carry your foldable rifle, your pistols, all that type of stuff. It's ready to have a level 3 insert from body armor that can be put in this bad boy. It's compatible with crossbred modular holsters. It is completely ready for you to just do, whether you want to use hook and loop type holsters, if you want to actually run Molly holsters on here, or you can put mag pouches on here. You can keep that exposed. This is just this bag is sexy looking, super functional. This is the type of bag that I would bring and suit with me if I wanted to CCW something, but I also want to go to a coffee shop and not look like a complete weirdo. I like the ready access pull. I like how fast you can access this thing. And I love how this feels when it's loaded up. If you don't want to find yourself spending money on a Go Ruck, you still want a functional bag that you can ruck on the weekends and then take to a coffee shop and take to work with you on weekdays, I think I would pick this if you needed to do both more than the daily carry. But if you're not into the rucking and all that other type of stuff, I'll recommend the daily carry easily. All right, let's talk about some power solutions. Okay, I talked about power solutions below the $200 mark, and there are a lot of these smaller DC only solutions that are popping up on the market. Blue Yeti has one, Anchor has sent me one, but this one has been out for years. This one I think is heavily slept on. This is the FJ Dynamics Power Bank. It's a 504 watt hour. Look at this thing. It's just a small, like it's I can fit it in the palm of my hand. Small. It's using NMC batteries, which is different than LifePo 4. They have pros and cons. NMC batteries work better in cold weather. These things have high power. That's why you can get so much power and capacity out of such of a smaller battery. And these things are 100% silent, and they don't need a fan. They use passive cooling. So that's kind of the draw, you know, the thing about using NMC versus LiFePO 4. They also cost a little bit more money, but these are pretty good as well. Now this has 504 watt hours of capacity, and it can put out 500 watts to anything that's plugged up into it. So in the very front, you're going to get a USB-C port that can do 100 out. The new upgraded version, because mine has been out for 2 years, can do 140 out. You also get 2 XT60 ports that can do in and out. I burnt one of my ports because I'm an idiot, and I actually did XTC to XTC for a different device, but I was able to send this in, get it warranted. Mine's not functions. It just looks like crap, but I know I got the exact same one back. Then you get a power button in the very front. This has an auto off mode after 1 hour of non-use. These things can do 58 volts out of those ports, and you can receive a charge in from a solar panel on those as well. Then on the very back, it has this removable DC hub. Now, if you don't need this hub for wherever you're doing that day, you can just leave this at home. But it's just such a small package that you can just leave this connected. It's not really a reason to take it off. And on this, you're going to get even more options for charging devices. You're going to get a USB Type-C port that does 100 watts, one that does 65 watts, 2 USB-As that do 18 watts. And this all together has a nice leather strap at the very top. And that's what I like about this, is that there's a few things I don't like. One of them is they give you a 100 watt GAN charger, and they give you a USB-C cable so that you can charge this thing up. The GAN charger that I got ran hot, and the ports didn't work that great after 2 months. So I'm going to link this up down below, and I think the US version is sold out. You can still buy the European version. The only difference is the plug that comes with the unit. If you're here in America, you're not going to be able to use the plug they send you, but the unit will be the same. Just get your own GAN charger. This thing can take a charge from any, use a charger you have already from Anchor or Basis or whatever. You're going to be fine. And another thing I'm not a big fan of is that I wish they would give you some type of options for, actually, they would have gave me one DC, like a 12 volt, 10 amp port. Okay. So all of these, the most you can get out of any of these is 5 amps. You can get 5 amps out of this front USB-C port. You can get 5 amps out of this top rear USB-C port, which is fine. You're going to get pretty fast charging. But if I want to charge something that's like closer to 10 amps, I wish they would have gave me a DC port so that maybe I want to hook an air compressor to inflate a tire or anything like that. That would have been nice, but still extremely nice. I think it's very competitive compared to what it's about $239. I have a coupon to get you $10 off of this down below as well. And this is super competitive when you compare it to what Anchor's putting out. I think it's way more aesthetically pleasing. If you plop this on a table at a picnic or at a fall game or whatever and tell people they can charge your devices up, you plop this on an ottoman while you guys are playing charades or Monopoly, it just blends in way better than the Anchor. Matter of fact, I'll show you. Here is its competitor's version from Anchor. This is the Anchor DC 300. Okay. So this one is 288 watt hours. This one is 504 watt hours. This one costs $199 MSRP. This one costs $239 currently. Plus I can get you a $10 off. And this one almost has double the capacity. Now, is it going to give you the DC, which this will give you? This also gives you more USB-C ports. They also are faster USB-C ports. That might be something that you're looking for. And this one has a secret weapon because it has a lantern at the top. Yeah, it has all that type of stuff, but this looks so campy. Okay. This one looks like it can fit in your daily life a lot better than the Anchor, but I'm just saying, plus my Anchor shit the bed the very first time I tested it. So we got an issue with that anyway. This is the Ecoflow Delta 2. Now here's the thing. Right now, this fantastic power station is currently 44 cents a watt hour because they're getting rid of it. It has been replaced by the Ecoflow Delta 3 Plus. This thing is fantastic. I've done tons of testing to know exactly the capacity you can get out of it. Matter of fact, I'll pull it up right now because The thing is when you're buying these units, you want to know exactly how much capacity are you getting out of them? How long are they going to last if you're using them in different scenarios? For this one specifically, the Ecoflow Delta 2, if I look at my grading right here, I got 81% capacity out of an AC drain test. I don't know if you can see that. I got 74% capacity out of a DC drain test. And overall score for this thing was 87%. Might be hard to see that, but meaning that this thing got an B+ with all the tests that I do when it comes to the value. And that score will go up even higher because when I did this test, this unit costs more. It costs less now. This is a 1,024 watt-hour capacity. So about double the capacity of this, right? Imagine that. Imagine how LiPo 4, they're just so much bigger. To get the same amount of energy out of them, they have to be bigger than NMC batteries. So this is literally about double the capacity of this. Now it does have a fan in it and it has AC ports and all that type of stuff, but you can expand this with battery expansion ports, plenty of USB-C options on the front. The very back is where you get all your AC ports. So you can take this with you, plop it down at a campsite, a game or whatever. You're going to get 6 AC ports back here. 2 of them are 20 amp, but the plenty of functionality. This is where you charge it at in the very back as well. You got the 12-volt plug back here, which can run, I think it can do 10 amps or maybe 8 amps because this is an older model. You get 2 5 amps barrel plugs back here if you have anything that runs off of that. It takes as a solar charge. This is a great unit. Fantastic unit. And the crazy thing is that right now on their website, it is $464. This MSRP for $999. It always sold for around $629. But when its big brother came out, oh, they dropped the price. 45 cents a watt hour currently. Last but not least, we have the Yeti. The Goldback line from Yeti is several different sizes that you can get. They started with the Goldback 30. Now they have like the 50 and I think a 20 or a 10, whatever the hell they got. But these are waterproof, windproof. They can't call it indestructible legally, but it's hard to destroy these. These are just fantastic. They have tie-down straps on. So if you want to tie these down to the outside of a vehicle, you can. You can also buy their accessories and put like cup holders on the side. So if you're sitting at a campsite, you can use this literally to keep your drinks and hold them on the side. Yeti sells little stuff like that. These are lockable. Right here on the very front, they do have locks, so you can put TSA locks or any of the master locks or whatever you want to put inside. But the biggest thing about these is that it has an attic at the very top, so you can store your items up there if you want to. I like the fact that it has the 2 pockets plus a big pocket in the very, very back. And then you do have a carrying tray, so you can take this out for loading purposes, right? And then it has a divider. I've owned cases like this from Pelican. I've owned stuff from Rome. They make some great cases. They're kind of big. And I've had plenty of stuff as well from like the bigger Pelican cases, the old school ones we're used to, like the 6610s and 6650s. This is my favorite case for like holidays. So if I want to put an Xbox in here, and I want to pack some DVDs if we're going to an Airbnb. This right now is loaded out like I'm going to the range. You can also load this thing out with different snacks that you may have. This is very versatile. Okay, so of all those cases I mentioned, the cup holder and the tie-down straps and the fact that it's waterproof and it's windproof, and you can slap it on the tonneau cover of your vehicle and it can sit out in the rain. This is just very versatile. It's $250. All right, so that is the gift guide for $500 to $200. So that's sweet spot. I'll link in a playlist the gift guide for $200, for $50, and eventually the gift guide for $100. I'm gonna also do a survival gift guide because there may be some stuff you may want to get for your bug out systems, your bug-in systems, your pack out bags, any of that type of stuff, blackout bags. So I think I'll put one of those together as well. Hey, if this is your first time stopping by, hit the subscribe button, join the battalion. We'd love to have you guys here as well. If this is not your first time stopping by, thank you once again for watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.